Today, we're talking about developing a professional niche as an associate dentist, and I'm going to share something that goes completely against what most people think. Everyone tells you that being well-rounded and versatile is the key to success as an associate, that you should be competent across all areas of general dentistry. And we're told that versatility is valuable, that being well-rounded is the path to success. But what if I told you that the associates with monthly earnings of 30K or more work fewer hours than their 10K colleagues, and they're not even working harder or seeing more patients? So what if the secret to career acceleration isn't becoming better at everything, but becoming exceptional at something specific? See, what if the path to professional fulfillment and financial freedom lies not in general competence, but in strategic specialization? Okay, so today we're going to explore a very different approach to associate development, building a professional niche that transforms both your earning potential and your job satisfaction, hopefully. Now, I'm going to take you through what I call the strategic niche development blueprint. And this is a comprehensive 5-stage pathway with 15 essential milestones that will guide you from generalist uncertainty to specialist confidence. So by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why niche development isn't just about making more money. It's about creating the career you actually want instead of having to simply accept what's available. And I'll also be sharing 3 very helpful resources for anyone serious about implementing what we discuss in this video. The first one helps you work out exactly which niche areas match your skills and interests. The second one shows you how to spot opportunities in your local area. And the third gives you a proper step-by-step plan to build your expertise without getting overwhelmed. I'll tell you how to get each of these as we go through the video. So today I'm going to show you why developing a professional niche isn't about abandoning general dentistry. It's about strategically positioning yourself for sustained success in an increasingly competitive market. So first, let's talk about the foundation, which revolves around understanding the current landscape. Over the past decade, I've worked alongside more than 400 dentists, and I've looked at career development patterns and at what truly distinguishes thriving professionals from those who plateau early. Now, the associates who achieve genuine career satisfaction and financial security are not necessarily the most technically gifted initially. They're the ones who've developed what I call strategic differentiation. It's basically a systematic approach to building expertise that creates genuine competitive advantage. Now, recent analysis from the UK Dental Market Research Council shows that associates with well-developed niches achieve income premiums of 30 to 50% over generalist dentists. And they achieve this while working equivalent or fewer hours. When we look at career progression patterns specifically, the findings are quite remarkable. Associate dentists with strategic niches report significantly higher job satisfaction, more transparent career progression, and even greater leverage in practice negotiations. Not because they're better dentists necessarily, but because their specialized value proposition transforms their market position. So here's what we're going to cover in our strategic niche development blueprint. Stage 1 is about market intelligence, with 3 milestones focused on understanding where real opportunities exist. Stage 2 is strategic assessment, with 3 milestones for matching your strengths with what the market actually wants. Stage 3 is systematic development, with 4 milestones for building expertise properly without rushing it. Stage 4 covers practice integration, with 3 milestones for actually implementing your niche within your current role. And finally, stage 5 is strategic positioning, with 2 milestones for building recognition and leveraging your expertise. Now, my promise to you is this. This isn't career advice based on wishful thinking. It's evidence-based strategy applied to real market dynamics. These are proven principles I've seen transform associate careers, improve work-life balance, and create genuine professional autonomy. All right, so let's get to stage 1, market intelligence, understanding where opportunities exist. Most associate dentists approach career development backwards. Let me explain. They focus on what interests them personally or what seems impressive, rather than conducting proper market analysis to understand where genuine opportunities exist. But that's like launching a business without understanding customer demand. It might feel satisfying initially, but it's unlikely to create sustainable success. The truth is, successful niche development rests on understanding market dynamics. Not just what you'd like to do, but where real demand exists that you can serve profitably. Let me explain what current dental market research reveals across developed economies. So the first milestone is to conduct a demographic analysis, and I want to give you some specific numbers to work with. So the global clear aligner market, with Invisalign, Spark, Angel Align, and Clear Correct, and others, is growing at 28.7% annually and is expected to reach around $18 billion by 2028. Now compare that to traditional orthodontics, which is growing at just 7.2% annually. Dental implants represent a $4.6 billion global market, growing at over 8% per year, with the average implant case generating $3,000 to $8,000 in revenue per patient. Endodontics shows steady, nearly 7% annual growth, with root canal therapy, of course, remaining consistently in demand as an alternative to extraction. Periodontics is experiencing over 7% growth, particularly in non-surgical laser treatments and regenerative procedures. Prosthodontics, especially digital, crown and bridge work, is growing at over 9% annually as same-day dentistry becomes more accessible. So companies like Bego, Varsio Smile are already offering strong ceramic-filled hybrid materials for 3D printed permanent inlays, onlays, and crowns. Oral surgery, including wisdom tooth extraction and minor surgical procedures, maintained steady at nearly 6% growth with consistently high margins. So here's what this means to associate career planning. And that brings us to milestone 2, identifying the gap between supply and demand. The first thing you need to understand is that public healthcare constraints are creating private opportunities. In many countries, access to comprehensive dental care through public systems is limited, creating significant demand for private services. Associates who position themselves in high-value private niches can leverage these supply shortages to achieve premium fees whilst serving patients who genuinely need these services. The second reality is that demographic shifts are driving service demand globally. Aging populations require more complex restorative work, implant services, and aesthetic treatments. More people keeping their teeth means more periodontal treatments, more restorative treatments like fillings, root canal treatments, and onlays and crowns. Meanwhile, younger demographics increasingly seek preventive treatments, aesthetic interventions, and clear aligner therapy. So one associate I worked with identified this demographic shift early on and started developing expertise in clear aligner therapy. And within 18 months, he was treating over 40 cases a month, increasing his income by nearly 60%, whilst working with more engaged, motivated patients. Now, the third milestone is about technology opportunity mapping. Technology is creating entirely new service categories worldwide. Digital dentistry, same-day CAT/CAM, and guided implant surgery represent areas that didn't exist a decade ago. See, these areas offer associates the opportunity to develop expertise alongside technology adoption, rather than trying to compete in an oversaturated traditional area. There's also massive opportunities in undiagnosed conditions globally, like sleep dentistry. Now, sleep dentistry addresses a condition affecting millions worldwide, yet the vast majority of sufferers remain undiagnosed. Facial pain, TMJ disorders, and aesthetic concerns represent similar underserved markets. Associates who develop expertise in these areas often find themselves serving patients who've struggled to find appropriate care elsewhere, creating both professional satisfaction and strong financial returns. What's crucial to understand is that market opportunity isn't just about size. It's about timing and positioning. The most successful niche development happens when associates identify emerging opportunities before they become saturated, and then build expertise systematically whilst the market develops. All right, let's look at stage 2, strategic assessment. And this involves aligning your strengths with market demands. So now that we understand market dynamics, let's explore how to systematically assess where your natural strengths intersect with these opportunities. What I'm going to share with you has really helped associates who felt a bit stuck in general practice and weren't sure how to move forward. And here's where milestone 4 comes in. And it's about personal interest inventory. Now, this isn't just about what you enjoy. It's about identifying where your genuine passion aligns with career development that is sustainable. You need to ask yourself which procedures energize you rather than drain you. What type of patient interactions do you find most rewarding? Which clinical challenges make you want to learn more? And where do colleagues already recognize your natural aptitude? So one associate discovered through this process that whilst everyone assumed she'd pursue cosmetic dentistry, she was genuinely fascinated by complex diagnostics and treatment planning. She developed expertise and completed postgrad training in prosthodontics. She became an expert in full mouth rehabilitation, creating a referral-based practice that suited her analytical personality perfectly. All right, let's discuss milestone 5, which is the skills gap analysis. Now, we need to honestly assess your current capabilities against market requirements. You need to look at your existing clinical skills and where they could be enhanced. Consider your non-clinical capabilities like communication, education, or leadership. Think about your learning preferences or how you develop new competencies most effectively. And be realistic about the time and financial resources available for skill development. The goal isn't to find where you're already perfect. It's to identify where modest development could create significant competitive advantage. And the last milestone for this stage is milestone 6, market position evaluation. And this involves understanding how you could position yourself uniquely within your chosen niche. Think about what combination of services you could offer that competitors don't. Consider how your personality or approach could differentiate your care delivery. Look at what patient demographics you're naturally suited to serve. And explore which referral relationships you could develop based on your interests. For example, one associate realized that her background in education made her exceptional at patient communication. She developed expertise in treating anxious patients with sedation. But her real differentiator was her ability to educate patients through the process. And that's what contributed to higher levels of patient loyalty. Okay, so let's get to stage 3, systematic development. So this is about building expertise methodically. And this is where proper skill building happens. So strategic competency development goes beyond just attending random courses. It involves creating a structured learning pathway, one that builds expertise in a systematic way. And I'll be honest with you, this is where most associates get it wrong. They jump around from course to course without a proper plan, and then wonder why they're not making progress. Okay, now let's discuss milestone 7, which is about foundation knowledge building. You've got to start with comprehensive theoretical understanding before attempting practical application. I know it sounds boring, but trust me on this one. This typically means taking foundation courses that give you the theoretical knowledge and basic principles. You'll want to read through professional literature to understand current best practices. Look at case studies to learn from others' successes and, more importantly, their mistakes. And you absolutely need to understand the regulatory and legal requirements specific to your chosen area. Now, here's the thing. Many associates skip this foundation phase entirely. They jump straight into advanced courses without having solid basics, then struggle to implement what they've learned. It's like trying to build a house without laying proper foundations. It might look good for a while, but it won't last. So I've seen this happen so many times. An associate attends a weekend implant course, comes back full of enthusiasm, tries to place their first implant, and it goes poorly because They didn't understand the fundamentals properly. The result? They abandoned implant dentistry. Once you've got that theoretical foundation sorted, then you can begin hands-on skill development with appropriate guidance. And that's where we get to milestone 8, supervised practical development. Look for mentorship relationships that offer real-world guidance and case support. See, that is absolutely crucial. Find someone who's been doing what you want to do for years and is willing to help you through those early cases. Get supervised case experience where you're building confidence through gradually increasing complexity. Don't try to do the most difficult case first. Start simple and work your way up. You can join peer learning groups where you can discuss challenges and solutions with other associates who are on the same journey. These groups are very helpful because everyone's learning together and you realize you're not the only one struggling with certain aspects. And document your cases progressively to track your development journey. Take photos, keep notes, record what went well and what didn't. See, this becomes invaluable as you progress. The key thing here is sequencing your learning appropriately. Start with simpler cases under guidance, then gradually increase complexity as your competence develops. It's not about being the fastest, it's about being thorough. So you're a dentist who's passionate about what you do, but honestly, you're feeling a bit stuck. Working harder, but your income feels stagnant. Dreaming of more freedom, more fulfillment, maybe even that 15K or 20K monthly income you know is possible. Now here's the thing, you've probably tried the usual advice, right? Just see more patients, work longer hours, cut costs. But that just leads to burnout, not breakthrough. See, what most dentists don't realize is that true success, both financial freedom and fulfillment, requires a completely different approach. So that's exactly what I've created. The Essential Dentist Guide, a completely free 5-step course that will show you the real pathway to becoming fulfilled and financially free. We're talking about understanding your numbers properly, strategic action, smart goal setting, effective communication, and building your personalized roadmap. Now, this isn't just theory. This is the exact foundation that leads to the over 30K monthly income many of my dentists are now achieving. 5 focused lessons, completely free, delivered straight to your inbox. No fluff, just proven strategies that actually work in the real world. Alright, so if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start building the practice you actually love, check out the link in the description below to get your free access. Your future, fulfilled and financially free self will thank you. Okay, so next is milestone 9, and it involves pursuing advanced certification. Now, this milestone demonstrates mastery and provides market credibility for your developing expertise. See, different niches require different certification pathways, and it's important to understand what's valued in your chosen area. Some areas need formal postgraduate qualifications. Think implantology or orthodontics, where you might need a proper diploma or a master's degree. These take time and money, but they're often essential for credibility. Others have professional society certifications that validate your competency. These might be shorter courses, but from recognized bodies that patients and colleagues respect. There are continuing education certificates from recognized institutions. These show you're committed to staying current in your field. And there are industry-specific qualifications. Different areas have different requirements, so do your research about what's actually valued in your chosen niche. The key is not just collecting certificates for the sake of it, but understanding what will actually help you serve patients better and build your reputation. Now, the next milestone is about developing case volume. And here's the reality check. Theoretical knowledge and certification mean very little without practical experience treating real patients. You need to focus on systematically building case volume. And there are several ways to do this. Start with internal practice referrals from colleagues who recognize your developing expertise. This is often the easiest way to begin because your colleagues already know and trust you. Develop external referral relationships with other practitioners. Now, this takes a bit more effort, but can be very rewarding. Maybe there's a local practice that doesn't offer your specialty. You could become their go-to person for referrals. Create patient education initiatives that help identify suitable cases within your existing patient base. Sometimes patients need treatments, but don't realize it's available or beneficial. And this mainly applies to services that can be marketed directly to the patient, like orthodontics, cosmetic treatments, and implants. Then you can implement targeted marketing efforts for your niche patient demographic. This doesn't mean expensive advertising. It might just mean having the right information available for patients who could benefit. So let me give you a real example. One associate I worked with developed sleep dentistry expertise, but initially struggled with case volume. He had all the training and certification, but the patients just weren't coming through the door. After implementing patient screening protocols, basically asking the right questions during routine appointments, and educating referring doctors about what he could offer, and creating a friction-free online referral process, his caseload increased by 300% within 8 months. The expertise was there, but he needed systems to identify and attract the right patients. Okay, so let's get to stage 4, practice integration, where you can start implementing your niche effectively. Now, I want to share how to integrate your developing expertise into your current practice environment successfully. And to be honest with you, this is often the area where associates struggle most. They develop skills, but can't implement them effectively within their working environment or their working arrangements. It's a bit like learning to drive, but then not being allowed to use the car. So let's get you driving the car, shall we? Now, milestone 11 is about developing your practice negotiation strategy. See, your niche needs a proper home base within your practice setting where you can deliver services effectively. Now, this might mean getting dedicated appointment time for niche services. You can't expect to do complex implant cases in a 15-minute slot between routine checkups, can you? So you need to have a proper conversation with your practice owner about booking longer appointments when needed. You'll need appropriate equipment and technology for optimal delivery. If you're developing expertise in clear aligner therapy, you'll need an intraoral scanner. If it's implants, you might need specific surgical equipment. The key is having these conversations early, not when you're ready to start treating patients. Now, patient flow systems need to support your specialized services. This means reception staff understand what you're offering and can book patients in your diary following clear protocols. These protocols are important for patient identification and internal referrals. Basically, how do other team members know when to refer patients to you? And what is the referral pathway? So here's something I've learned over the years. Successful associates frame their development as enhancing practice capabilities instead of personal gains. Don't go in saying, I want to do implants because I'll make more money. Instead, explain how offering implant services will help the practice serve patients better and attract new patients who need this treatment. See, most practice owners will support associates who increase practice revenue and reputation. They're running a business, and if you can help them serve patients better whilst bringing in more revenue, that's a win-win. Okay, so milestone 12 is to develop systems for team integration. See, your niche won't succeed without team support and understanding. And this is absolutely crucial. Reception staff need training to identify potential patients during calls. If someone rings up asking about getting their teeth straightened, reception should know to book them with you if you're doing clear aligner therapy. Not just put them down for a general checkup. And nurses need education about your specialized procedures and patient needs. They need to understand what instruments you'll need, how long appointments take, and what special post-treatment care instructions patients might need. You'll want clear communication protocols for managing niche appointments. This might mean different consent forms, different pre-appointment instructions, or different follow-up procedures. And patient journey mapping helps optimize the experience for your specialist services. Think about it from the patient's perspective. What do they need to know before they arrive? What happens during their appointment? And what follow-up do they need? Let me give you an example. One associate I worked with developed clear aligner expertise, but struggled initially because the practice lacked systems for managing these different appointment types. The initial consultation needed an hour, not the usual 30 minutes. The treatment planning required specific photos and impressions. The progress appointments were different from routine checkups. And the team didn't understand any of this. After implementing specific protocols and training the team properly, her patient satisfaction scores increased dramatically, whilst reducing scheduling conflicts. Everyone knew what they were doing, and patients felt much more confident in the process. Now, milestone 13 is about developing the internal marketing. Build recognition for your expertise within your practice patient base before looking at getting external referrals. You'll need patient education materials specific to your niche area. This might be brochures, information sheets, or even just having the right way to introduce your niche to the patient during routine appointments. There's systematic identification of existing patients who could benefit from your services. Go through your patient records. How many people have crowded teeth who might benefit from clear aligners? How many have missing teeth who might need implants? Often, the patients are already there. They just don't know you can help them. Colleague education about when and how to refer patients to you is really important. Your fellow associates and hygienists need to know what to look for and when to mention your services to patients. And success story documentation builds credibility for your developing expertise. Before and after photos, patient testimonials, case studies, all of these help establish your reputation within the practice. Right, the final stage involves building recognition beyond your immediate practice and leveraging your expertise for career advancement. This is where things get really interesting because you're not just improving your current job, you're setting yourself up for long-term career success. Now, milestone 14 is where you develop your professional network. This involves building recognition beyond your immediate practice. And it's something many associates overlook. You'll want to develop your professional network within your niche area through specialist study groups and conferences. See, these aren't just about learning. They're about meeting other professionals who might refer patients to you or offer you opportunities in a year or 2 years or maybe even in 5 years' time. Keep up with continuing education to stay current with developments. Your field will keep evolving and you need to evolve with it. What's cutting edge today might be standard practice in 5 years. Look for potential teaching or mentoring opportunities that establish thought leadership. This might mean presenting at study groups, writing articles for professional publications, or mentoring new associates. It positions you as an expert in your field and builds strategic relationships with practitioners in complementary areas. If you're doing implants, get to know the local oral surgeons and periodontists. If you're doing clear aligners, build relationships with orthodontists who might offer mentorship opportunities, and maybe you can start offering fixed orthodontic treatments as well. External recognition creates referral opportunities, enhances credibility, and provides career resilience through professional network development. If your current job doesn't work out, you've got a network of professionals who know your work and might offer opportunities. So milestone 15 is where you optimize your career leverage. Here you can leverage your developed expertise for genuine career advancement. Now, this might involve negotiating enhanced compensation, reflecting your specialized value. If you're bringing in additional revenue through your niche services, you should be rewarded for that contribution. Exploring partnership opportunities within practices that value your niche could be an option. Some practices actively look for associates with specialist skills to join as partners. Considering practice ownership with your established patient base is also a real possibility. If you've built up a following of patients who specifically come to see you for your specialist services, that's a valuable asset. Or investigating corporate opportunities in specialist practice settings. There are corporate groups that focus on specific areas like cosmetic dentistry or implants or orthodontics or endodontics, and they're always looking for skilled associates. So here's the key insight. Niche expertise creates options rather than restrictions. You maintain your generalist capabilities whilst adding specialist opportunities. You're not limiting yourself, you're expanding your possibilities. That's quite powerful, isn't it? Instead of being just another associate dentist competing on availability and price, you become someone with specific expertise that people seek out. That puts you in a much stronger position for whatever comes next in your career. Okay, now let's discuss implementation timelines and expectations. So let me share a realistic timeline for implementing this strategic niche development blueprint. And I want to be really honest with you about what this actually looks like in practice. So in the first 3 months, you carry out your market intelligence and strategic assessment. Your first quarter focuses on assessment and foundation building without major commitments. And this is really important. You're not making any big decisions or investments yet. You need to start with a comprehensive market analysis and honest self-assessment. Take your time with this bit. Really think about what interests you and what opportunities exist in your area. Then attend introductory courses in 2 to 3 potential niche areas to gain realistic exposure. Don't go mad here, just get a feel for what's involved. You might discover that something you thought would be perfect actually doesn't suit you at all. The investment at this stage should be around £1,500 or $2,000 for exploratory education and assessment tools. That's not too scary, is it? You're basically doing your homework before making any major commitments. Now, during the remaining 9 months of that first year, you need to start creating your systematic development foundation. Based on your initial insights, select your primary niche area and begin serious skill development. This is where you're making your choice and committing to it properly. Enroll in comprehensive training programs and begin supervised case experience. This is the real learning phase where you're building solid foundations. Expect to invest around $10K to $15K US dollars, depending on your chosen area. But here's the thing, this typically generates returns within 12 to 18 months. So you're not just spending money, you're investing in your future earning potential. In the first half of the second year, you focus on implementing your developing expertise within your current practice environment. This is where all that theory starts becoming reality. Negotiate appropriate arrangements with your practice owner and develop team support systems. Get everyone on board with what you're doing. Begin building internal case volume and patient base. Start small, build confidence, and gradually increase your caseload. Now, in the second half of year 2, build external recognition and leverage your expertise for career advancement. Now, you're not just good at your niche. People know you're good at it. Develop professional networks and look at specific opportunities like better associate positions at specialist practices, partnership discussions with your current or other practice owners, or even exploring practice ownership if you've built up a solid patient following. You need to consider long-term strategic options based on your established expertise. You've got choices now that you didn't have before. Now, different niches show different return timelines, and it's important to set realistic expectations. So clear aligner therapy can show returns quite quickly, often within 6 to 12 months, because the margins are good and patients are usually motivated. Endodontics offers steady returns within 8 to 15 months as you build confidence with root canal procedures. The learning curve is manageable and there's consistent demand since it's often the alternative to extraction. Periodontics typically shows returns within 10 to 18 months, particularly if you focus on non-surgical treatments initially. The patient base builds gradually as you develop expertise in gum disease management and maintenance protocols. Cosmetic dentistry requires 12 to 18 months as your skills develop and patient base builds. You need time to build a portfolio and reputation there. Implantology may take 18 to 24 months due to complexity and case volume requirements. It's more technical and you need more cases to become really confident. Sleep dentistry offers moderate returns within 12 to 18 months, but creates significant patient satisfaction. The learning curve isn't as steep as implants, but building referral relationships takes time. The key takeaway here is that all viable niches generate positive returns for systematically developed expertise. But your timeline expectations should align with the niche characteristics. Don't expect overnight success, but do expect steady progress. All right, developing a professional niche represents one of the most effective strategies for associate career advancement available today. But here's what I want you to remember. This isn't about becoming a different type of dentist. It's about consciously developing expertise that creates genuine competitive advantage while serving patient needs more effectively. Our strategic niche development blueprint, with its 5 stages and 15 essential milestones, provides a systematic approach to building strategic differentiation that transforms both your earning potential and professional satisfaction. The market evidence is compelling. Associates with well-developed niches achieve 30 to 50% higher income whilst working equivalent hours. They report higher job satisfaction and have much clearer ideas about where their careers are heading. More importantly, niche development creates the psychological conditions for sustained professional growth. The sense that you're developing genuine expertise rather than simply maintaining competency. Now let's be honest about what niche development requires. You'll need to invest time in learning, money and training, and effort in building new capabilities. But consider the alternative: remaining a generalist in an increasingly competitive market where associates compete primarily on availability and fees rather than unique value. The strategic niche development blueprint isn't designed to add pressure to your schedule. It's designed to work within the reality of associate practice, whilst creating strategic advantage over time. Start modestly, choose one area for deeper exploration, invest in foundation training, build competency gradually, document your progress. Remember that small, consistent improvements in strategic areas create compound effects that dramatically exceed random skill development. So what could be your next step? Implementation starts with honest self-assessment and market analysis. If you're serious about niche development, begin today with systematic evaluation of your interests, your strengths, and local market opportunities. And then tomorrow, research training opportunities in your chosen area. Contact established practitioners for informal mentorship conversations. And next week, attend an introductory course or professional meeting in your area of interest. And next month, develop a structured learning plan with specific milestones and investment requirements. Remember, the goal isn't to find the perfect niche. It's to begin systematic development in an area that aligns your interests with market opportunities. The strategic niche development blueprint ultimately creates what business strategists call sustainable competitive advantage, the ability to deliver superior value that competitors cannot easily replicate. Your patients deserve access to practitioners with genuine expertise in areas that matter to their health and well-being. Your colleagues benefit from working with associates who bring specialized capabilities to practice teams. Your practice benefits from the enhanced reputation and revenue that specialist services provide. And most importantly, you deserve to experience the deep satisfaction that comes from building genuine expertise while serving patients who genuinely need what you offer. The strategic niche development blueprint provides the roadmap. Your commitment to implementation creates the transformation. And remember, this isn't about working harder. It's about working more strategically, building expertise that commands both respect and rewards. Be patient with the development process, be systematic with your learning, be confident in your growing expertise. Start today. Thank you for watching.